campus community is inclusive, diverse, vibrant, and multicultural, with over 85 countries represented in our student body.
We also have the largest Aboriginal student population amongst post-secondary colleges, institutes, and university in British Columbia. TRU embraces and celebrates diversity at events like I-Days, Aboriginal Awareness Week, the Pride Parade, Chinese New Year, and Rang Day Basanti.
Because your well-being is key to achieving your goals, TRU offers various services to support your physical and mental health. The wellness team shares information on nutrition, sleep, sexual health, and more. Plus, they host much-loved activities to de-stress, like mindfulness meditations and Therapy Dog Thursdays.
TRU Recreation promotes fun, active health, and offers free yoga and fitness classes. And in the mirrors.
And you can get your sweat on at the world-class Tournament Capital Center, located right beside campus. CFL teams train here, Olympians train here, and NBA athletes train here. TRU is home to the Wolfpack. We have 11 athletic teams, 8 of which compete at the top varsity level.
So get pumped, because Team Spirit is infectious.
Other supports to help you on your learning journey include a medical clinic, academic advising, counseling, career education, and student awards and financial support.
You'll find many of these services on Student Street in the old main building in the heart of campus. I guess what we're saying is, if you ever need assistance or have a question, just ask. TRU has close to 100 student clubs on campus. It's a great way to connect with people who have common interests.
Aboriginal Drum Circle, Eco, Chess, Longboarding, Enactus, the list goes on.
Thompson Rivers University Student Union not only advocates for students, but also hosts major events and activities such as the Back to School Barbecue, the Common Voices Lecture Series, and movie nights.
Catch a performance by TRU Actors Workshop Theater right in the Black Box Theater on campus. Or you can volunteer, host your own show at CFBX, our campus community radio station.
Let's face it, there's more than university than books and classes.
So get involved. It's the best way to experience TRU and meet new and interesting friends.
Yes, dear viewers, welcome to you on today's live show organized by Prominent Consultant. And definitely through the video you can understand that today's live video is just all about of Thompson Rivers University, one of the beautiful, one of the largest, one of the one of the best public universities based in British Columbia. And definitely the thing is that today we have a special guest who has been connected from British Columbia itself. Is none other than Suraj, who is the international and who is the manager of international recruitment and marketing. So hi Suraj, would like to welcome you to this live session. And how are you at all?
Thank you, Syed. I'm good. I want to start with wishing all the viewers a very happy Ramadan, Ramadan Mubarak. And I'm happy to be here and help you with learning a little bit about Thompson Rivers University as an option for your study destination.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining this live session. And dear viewers, I'd like to say one thing that if you're watching this live video, please share this to your timeline so people can see whoever interested for Canada, they can be helpful. They can get some information about Thompson Rivers University. And definitely we'll talk about all the details about of Thompson Rivers University, and we have a lot of students are getting inquiries to know about Thompson Rivers University. This live could be the best platform to know all the details because it's it will be 1 hour long live session. Let's see how it goes. So, Suraj, first of all, you know that there are a lot of provinces in Canada. I mean, not a lot of, like 10 provinces in Canada. So British Columbia is out of them. And people are mostly interested for Ontario and British Columbia, right? So as per the that the location of Thompson Rivers University in British Columbia, how the university is and how is the location, and why people should choose British Columbia rather than other provinces, and why they should TRU. I mean, they should choose TRU.
Yes. Okay, that's a great question, and I think a lot of this is going to come from my personal experience of moving to Canada. I think when people think of Canada as a study destination, the first thing you think of is, oh my God, it's going to be so cold. That's what our parents tell us. That's what everybody tells us. Why are you going to Canada? It's like so cold. But when you come to British Columbia, it's probably the warmest part of the country. We're located in a city called Kamloops. So that's spelled as Kamloops, Kamloops. And Kamloops is in the interior of British Columbia. So we're 3.5 hours from Vancouver City. We have full 4 seasons, so we enjoy a really, really beautiful summer, an amazing spring, a really nice fall, and a fairly mild winter. So we don't necessarily get the same level of winter that the East Coast will get. So coming to British Columbia, you're first of all signing up for really, really good weather. The second thing you're going to get is an amazing beauty because you're studying in the mountains. So you will not have seen a place like this before, I can guarantee that. So if you come over and you take a look at the Rockies and the foothills of the Rockies, that's where we're located. It's just beautiful. Apart from that, we are an economic hub for Canada as well. So in the West Coast, Vancouver is the biggest city, and there's lots of industry here. But where we're located as well, there's a lot of big industries, especially in education, agriculture, mining, supply chain, logistics, tourism, and hospitality, because we have the second best ski destination in Canada very close to our city as well. Kamloops is a medium-sized city, so we have about 100,000 people, and there's a really vibrant downtown, so lots of cafes and pubs and beers and restaurants, and at the same time, there's lots of art and history and museums. So there's something or the other for every student, and I think lots of things for students to explore. Yeah.
Okay, that's very good. So thank you for your answer. And that the people, they are asking sometimes for the courses, because courses is a very important part, because that so many universities don't have so many courses. So Thompson River, so far I know that except engineering, they have a lot of courses in other parts. So would you please tell something about the courses? I mean, starting from high school to master's level.
Absolutely. So TRU is a public university. We are the third largest in British Columbia, and we have over 140 programs amongst 9 different faculties. So just to kind of summarize this, we have programs at many different levels. So we have undergraduate preparation, which is basically high school completion, and then we have your full bachelor's degree, which has co-op. We also have post-baccalaureate diplomas. We have master's degrees, and we have a Juris Doctor in Law program as well. So we have all these different programs in several different areas. So those areas would be arts, business, science, tourism, health science, nursing, computer science, technology. We have engineering. So we have lots of different areas where you can study. Within, I think some of our popular programs would be our bachelor's in business, arts, science, tourism, and also our post-baccalaureate diplomas in business. We have post-baccalaureate diplomas in tourism. We also have MBA. We have a Master of Business Administration. We have a Master of Nursing. So lots of different programs. And I think one of the things we're very confident of is that we can usually find something or the other that kind of fits the student's profile. So depending on what you want to work as in Canada, we could find the right program for you that fits your needs. But if you go to our website, tre.ca/programs, you will see a full list of all of our programs.
Okay. Okay, so I have a question regarding your course, that after class 10, you have a course of International Foundation year. So is it a 1-year course?
So that depends on which program the student wants to take. So for example, if a student wants to go into a BBA, after class 10, let's say they only require a certain number of credits to get into BBA, they will only study those specific courses. They won't study courses that are not relevant to their program. So what we do is we take the student at any level, make sure that they are eligible to enter the bachelor's degree, and then bring them in. So we kind of find that pathway. That's why we're very flexible around student paths in TRU.
Okay, so it could be maximum 1 year, right? The foundation?
Correct. I think it's minimum 1 year, sure.
Minimum 1 year. Minimum 1 year.
Maximum 2 years.
Maximum 2 years. Okay, okay. So, and you also have, like, that you are asking for. Okay, we'll discuss that in the entry requirements. And also, you are also offering some courses, engineering courses, 2 years in Thompson River, and the remaining years they can do it UBC or Victoria or Simon
Yeah.
some courses are like that, no? In
Right.
engineering, you have.
So we have certain programs which are called university transfer programs. So let's say a student wants to study at the University of British Columbia or they want to study at the University of Victoria, but they don't meet the requirements for those specific programs. So that is mainly engineering because we do have a very specific agreement with these schools. What that means is the student will first come to TRU at our requirements, which are comparatively lower but not significantly lower. So you still must have A's. But let's say you couldn't make it to UBC, or you want to start at a smaller school, with more comfort, and then move on to UBC. Then you come to us, you complete the first year of the engineering transfer program, and then you maintain a GPA of 2.87. Once you do that, you have a guaranteed admission into the second year of UBC, no matter which discipline in engineering you choose. The other option within engineering is that you can take 2 years at TRU and then go into the University of Victoria for electrical and computer engineering, and that would be 2+2. The third option is that you continue at TRU and you complete a full 5-year bachelor of software engineering at TRU. So these are the few options we have within engineering. But keep in mind, within the province of British Columbia, we do have something called as a BC Transfer Guide, which enables students to transfer from one university to another seamlessly. It's specifically when it's public. So, for example, if a student comes into the BBA at TRU and in 2 years they choose to now go to UBC, that is possible. So the suggestion that I would give to all the viewers today is that if you do choose to come to TRU, and let's say you have different long-term plans from what you would be doing at that time, discuss this with your academic advisor. They will find you the best possible and the fastest and the smartest possible way to get to your goals.
Okay, and I would like to understand some matters that there are some specific courses which have great demand in British Columbia because of in terms of the job openings, in terms of the job demand. So could you please tell me what are the courses? Because most of the people they want to do business, computer, but apart from those subjects, also there are some courses has huge demand like education,
Right.
some of the psychology. So could you please tell me about these courses?
So I think I'm going to go over 6 or 7 courses that I think are hot courses right now, are hot programs for students to choose from. I think number one, given the COVID-19 situation, I don't think there can be any bigger industry right now that's of prime importance than healthcare and nursing. And that's one of our faculties. So we do have practical nursing diploma and master of nursing. We have a bachelor of science of nursing, but that's very competitive. But the other 2 programs are open for registered nurses in Bangladesh, and they can choose to pursue nursing at TRU. We also have early childhood education diploma, which has 100% employment rate as well, which is also an amazing program. So when you graduate from grade 12, you can go into the TRU ECE diploma and then graduate within 2 years with a license to start working as an early childhood educator. And again, we actually get more employers asking us for our graduates than the number of graduates we produce. So there's lots of opportunity in that area. The other one would be Bachelor of Education in STEM. So if any of you already have a Bachelor of Science or Arts in mathematics, technology, engineering, any sort of sciences, and if you choose to come to Canada and you want to eventually teach in high schools in Canada, then that is again an amazing option. That's a 1-year compressed program. It's actually a 2-year program condensed into 1 year. And it gives you the license to start teaching in British Columbia and Canada as well. The other one that's very popular and important and like kind of a hot program right now is the Bachelor of Arts in New Media and Communication, because that program really creates communicators, creates advertising experts, marketing experts, copywriting, journalism, all those kind of areas. Now, again, with this time, I think all the industry has learned in how to work with the modern times and how to kind of learn work digitally completely. And I think those jobs have become of prime importance because I'm sure companies must have seen the reduced investment and the high gain when it comes to working digitally. So that's again a lot of opportunity in that area. And the last program I want to talk about in this section, like these are just a few courses out of the ones we have. The last one I want to talk about is a culinary arts diploma. So For those interested in cooking and want to be a chef, we do have a culinary arts diploma, which is approximately 2 years. It's not a full 2 years; it's less than. But you come in, you take the level 1, 2, and 3 at TRU. So 1 and 2 are cook level 1 and 2 are basically on campus. Cook level 3 is an apprenticeship, and then you go into Red Seal certification. So we do have the full pathway for that. Again, British Columbia needs at least about 15 to 20,000 chefs within the next 1 or 2 years. And again, we haven't been able to meet the local market needs at all. So that is a solid program from every perspective. And these programs that I mentioned are solid from all perspectives, right? I'm talking about job, I'm talking about how much they would cost, I'm talking about immigration opportunities, I'm talking about literally every little piece here that come together. I think, Syed, sorry, I do want to mention one more. And that is for students with engineering, chemical background, or any of those science backgrounds. If this excites you, we do have a program called Water and Wastewater Technology Diploma, and that program will help you essentially learn how to treat water and wastewater. And you don't learn this on our Kamloops campus. You actually learn at a water treatment facility, which is still in the city. It's actually close to downtown. And you work there, our classrooms are there, so you are literally learning on site. And again, this program has a 100% employment rate, and sometimes the starting pay can be as high as 55 to 60,000 Canadian dollars, and then it only goes up from there. So there's lots of demand in this area. Canada really focuses on water treatment and clean drinking, providing clean drinking water to its citizens.
Yes, yes. So I think it's a better option for students from science background, or so they can do the water man. I think the course name is water management, or what is the name of the course?
It's called Water and Wastewater Management Diploma.
Wastewater management. Yes, and another thing is that psychology also. I think it's a good subject for students.
Absolutely. So psychology. The reason I did not mention that is because that's a very specific course. So that is for those that are interested in psychology. We do have that program as well. And again, we have over 140 programs. So we have lots of different programs that will lead you to where you want to go. The ones I mentioned are just like the hot ones right now. But yeah, you can definitely explore.
Suraj, we'll take one question from one of our students who is asking, like Faisal Ahmed is asking, can you see in the screen?
Yes,
TRU has an environmental science program, but I want to know that is it course-based program? If so, then will I have to manage a professor for the program? Will students from agricultural background can be eligible for the program or not?
All right, so that's a fantastic question. We have two different types of programs. First one is called the Master of Environmental Studies. Master of Environmental Sciences. This one is 100% research-based program, which means your whole focus in this program is to create a thesis. For this, you must have a thesis supervisor who is willing to work with you before you even apply to this program. And to do that, again, if you contact prominent consultants, they will help you in that process. It is competitively challenging because finding a supervisor to support your thesis really requires a lot of effort from your end in terms of the application, providing all the documents, providing your thesis experience, and all that. So in that whole program, really, there are a few courses, but most of it is thesis. The other program we have is called the Master of Environmental Economics. It's actually called Master of Science in Environmental Economics and Management. And this one is about 4 semesters. The first 3 semesters are course-based. The last semester can be a thesis or a project. It's up to you how you plan to do it. So that one is essentially the difference between these two. Master of Environmental Sciences is for you to pick a topic of research and use this program to do that. The other one is the Master of Environmental Economics and Management, in which we prepare you for the job market in the environmental economic side. Which means, for example, you could become an energy auditor, you could become a policymaker. So you would be working in corporate or in the government, providing advice and counsel on finding a balance between the environment and economics. So one of the things to keep in mind is whatever you choose, think about your future prospects, think about what kind of jobs you want, and then to pursue that program. TRU really takes pride in our employability. We have the highest employment rate in British Columbia amongst universities, and that's one of the major things we focus on. So, when you're stuck with which program to choose, We really trust our authorized agents and give you the best guidance for that, and prominent consultants will definitely be able to help you.
Thank you so much. Suraj, so I have a question regarding the thesis based and course based. So, the environmental science in economics and management. So, for that course, they don't need a supervisor to find a supervisor. They can apply it.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So one more thing I need to know from you, that is about the number of students in Thompson River, and how many are international and how many are Bangladeshis, and you know that I forgot to say, and how is the faculty and student ratio in Thompson River?
Excellent question. So let's start with how many students we have on campus. So in total, we have about 15,000 plus students on campus. That includes domestic and international. Out of 15,000 plus students, 3,700 are international from over 103 countries. The student community is extremely diverse. Because we are not a huge institution or a small institution, we're a medium-sized institution. That gives us a lot of facility. However, keep in mind our campus is huge. Said, I want to share my screen quickly here if you don't mind.
Sure.
Just give me a second. I do want to quickly show. Just a moment, sorry.
Sure. Yes, it has come. I am just putting it in live.
Yes. So just to give you guys an idea, that is our campus. You can see the beautiful hills at the back. You can see the campus map. You see we have a huge tournament-sized sports center. We have over 3 accommodation options for students. We have a full service, Starbucks, Tim Hortons. We have lots of restaurants, cafes, everything on campus. So we really believe our campus is a campus community, and we're located right in the middle of the city. We're not located somewhere far out, which means going to downtown is just a 15 or 10-minute bus ride, and we do have 2 bus stops on campus. We are also very close to Walmart and Superstore and things like that. Speaking
there is, I can see some stadium. Is there some stadium is there?
Yes. So that is a part of our tournament capital center, which is basically the sports facility. Olympians come train at Kamloops. Kamloops is actually called the tournament capital of Canada. It's really big on sports. So we have lots of sports facility and things like that on campus as well as off campus. And keep in mind, this is all free for students to access. So students could access the swimming pool, which is a tournament-sized swimming pool, for free. It's technically included in your tuition fee and things like that. Yeah. Going back to your question, yes, it's huge and it's beautiful. I'm going to go back to answering your question. So average class size would be about 30 to 40 students per class. Some classes can have as less as 20, 25. Some classes can have maybe 45, but that's pretty much the typical range. Average is still 30 to 35. Apart from that, Bangladeshi community on campus. I think we have one of the largest Bangladeshi communities on campus across the Western Canada. We have lots of students from Bangladesh. We also have a lot of faculty from Bangladesh, a lot of our professors in economics, in statistics, in mathematics, even in other areas, in sciences, mostly in sciences and in STEM area are Bangladeshi professors. And yeah, we see we have a Trusu Bangladeshi club. So that's a campus club for students from Bangladesh who celebrate all the festivals, the International Mother Language Day. We celebrate Eid. We celebrate pretty much all the festivals that you celebrate in Dhaka. So you will not miss home. That is my promise to you.
Okay. So so one thing that okay, the student who has questioned again.
Okay.
That I'm afraid, sir, I did not get answer of my last question.
Yeah.
Is students from agricultural background will be eligible for program or not for environment?
Yes, sorry about that, Faisal. So that is correct. Yes, students from agriculture background are eligible for both the programs that I mentioned. So that's the Master of Science in Environmental Science and the Master of Environmental Economics and Management. We do have another program, if that interests you. We have something called as Sustainable Ranching Diploma. So if you are interested in agriculture and ranching, if that is what your interests are, we do have a 2-year diploma in which you can prepare to work at a ranch or a farm in Canada or start your own over here. You can also eventually go into completing a 4-year bachelor's degree, but I'm pretty sure you already have a bachelor's degree, so you probably don't want that. But if agriculture is your area, then that's the option you have. Master's level, the 2 programs that I mentioned are your best ones.
Okay, that's good. So, Suraj, shall we have some video of your program?
A video.
A video.
Which program would you like to?
I mean, in the video there are some some programs they have, that they have showed department wise. Can I show that video in live?
Of course, please do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Welcome to Thompson Rivers University. Hi, I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Tim.
And we're really excited to show you around campus and share with you all that TRU has to offer.
You'll get an inside look at what it means to be a student at TRU. What an awesome experience that is.
You can learn, study, grow, eat, live, and relax here at Thompson Rivers University. Thompson Rivers University is located in Kamloops, in the interior of British Columbia, on the traditional lands of the Secwepemc people.
It began in 1970 as Caribou College. As the institution grew and offered degree programs, it became the University College of the Caribou. It has since evolved to a full-on university as of 2005. Now, over 14,000 students study on campus.
And another 12,000 study by distance or online. TRU provides a diverse and dynamic environment in which you can grow and learn.
The campus is beautiful and easy to navigate and has superb academic opportunities.
And the small class sizes provide students with an intimate sense of community.
Okay. So, yes. Okay. Suraj, can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So actually, so now we'll talk about the entry requirements of your all program, which is very important for students for your, that for starting from your high school to your master's program. Could you please say something about it?
So in terms of entry requirements, every program is very different because again, as I mentioned, we have over 140 programs. But I'm going to give you guys a general idea of what are the minimum requirements. So if you are coming into bachelor's degree, we require 6.5 in IELTS with no bands below 6. That is our overall IELTS academic English proficiency test score requirements. If you are going to pursue Duolingo instead, the requirement for that is 110 and above. So that's the English side of things. When it comes to the grade side of things, mostly we require at least 65% to get admitted to open programs. But speaking of certain select programs, right? Like if I tell you, for example, engineering, we need to see all A's in your transcripts. If I talk about Bachelor of, for example, natural resource science, I need to see A's and B's. So it really depends on the program, but keep in mind like about 60 to 65% in your GPA, as well as at least IELTS of 6.5 with no band below 6. Now, even though some programs have higher GPA requirements, that does not necessarily mean that you cannot get into it. It just means that there is a way of getting into it, because there might be a few steps you might have to take before that. So again, for that, I would suggest contact prominent consultants. They will help you with that process, and I will help you through them in finding you the best way to get to TRU. The other level of programs is post-baccalaureate diplomas. So for post-baccalaureate diplomas, we invite your applications at IELTS 6.5, no bands below 6 again, and GPA of about 60 to 65%. That's for post-bacc, and then comes the master's levels. So master's levels, we have MBA, Master of Environmental Economics, Master of Environmental Science. Sorry, not the Master of Environmental Science. There are 4 programs. So Master of Business Administration, Master of Environmental Economics, Master of Nursing, and then Juris Doctor in Law. For these programs, you require an IELTS of 7 overall with no bands below 6.5. We also require a GPA of at least 3 out of 4, or at least a B, which is 75% approximately, in the last 2 years of your bachelor's degree or the last 2 years of your study. So, for example, if you've already taken a master's degree, you're taking another master's degree, you're just going to look at your last 120 credits of no matter whatever you've studied. So it is important to claim all your previous education, and that is something that we require to make the decision. So that's for the master's level programs. And then again, sub-programs such as, nursing might be different, software engineering might be different, you might require some maths in mathematics, chemistry, physics. But as I said, TRU does offer lots of flexible pathways into getting into another program. So we might bring you into Bachelor of Science and then bring you into Bachelor of Computer Science. So there's lots of ways we can do that. What I need you to do is provide prominent consultants with your transcripts and work with them to find out which program are you eligible for and which program do you eventually want to get into, and then we can find out. But overall, English requirements are a big part, and the GPA is a big part. For our MBA, we do not require any GMAT or any interview or anything.
Okay, so I have some specific question on entry requirements. So, for example, like as you have the International Foundation program. So, students in our country, that there are two kind of education. Like one is national curriculum, which is called secondary education, which is class 10, and another one is that the British one, like the O levels. Yeah. So, from national curriculum, are they eligible to go for the foundation year after class 10?
Absolutely, but they must be at least 17 years of age. So that's something to keep in mind. You must be 17 years of age to get into our UPrep program, and you must have grades that make you qualify. So this would be something that we would look at on a case-to-case basis. So when you have that student, we can talk about the eligibility of that student going into the UPrep.
Okay, so whether student from SSC or from O levels, both of them should be. Both of them age should be 17.
That is correct. Right? That is correct. Yes.
Okay. What about the IELTS requirement for foundation?
Yeah. So for direct admission, we still require an IELTS of 6.5 with no bands below 6. But let's say you might have lower than that. Now this is just for foundation. I'm not talking about bachelor's or post-bac, because for those we do require you to have like the required IELTS scores. But let's say for foundation, UPrep, and those kind of programs, if you do have a lower IELTS score, we do have something called as an ESL program, where you can start studying English at TRU and upgrade your English, and then go into the rest of our programs.
Okay. And we have a student who is actually our student, Sarah Rahman. She is watching, because I told her to watch the live, because she is supposed to submit the documents to us. So she is having some question like that she has done AS level, okay, and she wants to submit the A2 level predictive results. Okay, so she already collected the predictive results, and now she got IELTS overall 6. She wanted to apply, but she's a little bit confused. So can she apply right away and conditionally, and can she give Duolingo test after that? I mean,
so what program is this?
I think she is looking for business.
Bachelor's?
Yes,
right.
Bachelor's.
Of course, is AS level. So because we are accepting Duolingo, we won't be able to offer a conditional letter of acceptance without Duolingo or without any English test course. So that is a mandatory.
She has IELTS. She has IELTS right now, but the lower, she has low band. So she would like to improve.
Right. So I'm just kind of clarifying that, first of all, if you don't have any English test, we won't be able to issue CLOA. In her case, because she does have IELTS with a 6 with no bands below 5.5, I'm assuming, yes, you can process your application. You will still get your offer letter, and you will still be able to continue. And then let's say your English test score changes before you start your courses at TRU, which means before August 1st. That is our confirmation deadline to submit your English scores. So before August 1st, if that changes, you can send it to us, and that will get upgraded. Yeah, that's not a problem.
Okay, in that case, she can submit Duolingo, right, without any problem.
Correct.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Sarah, I think you already got your answer. So now you know that about the tuition fees,
Yes.
which is very important part for all courses about the tuition fees and what kind of scholarships do you offer. So would you please say something about this part?
Yeah, so TRU is a public university. We are government subsidized, so we are one of the most affordable schools in Western Canada. In fact, across Canada, university as for university, we are very competitive with our tuition fees. For a year for bachelor's degree programs, you are looking at about 15 to 17,000 Canadian dollars for your annual tuition fees, which is for roughly 10 courses per year, so 5 courses per semester. This does not include your other fees. That would be another $2,000 on top of that. I would suggest you to keep about $17,000 to $19,000 per year in mind when it comes to TRU for bachelor's degrees, as well as for post-baccalaureate diplomas. For master's degrees, again, the cost changes from program to program. MBA, for example, is $14,000 for the first year and $35,000 for the second year. So total it comes to about $50,000. But depending on the program, the tuition fee can change when it comes to masters. But a good ballpark for all of our undergraduate programs is about $17,000 to $19,000 per year, and a good ballpark for a master's program is about $22,000 per year. So that is a good way to remember that. When it comes to the cost of living, Kamloops is much cheaper than many bigger cities, and it's not. I wouldn't say it's significantly cheaper. It is competitively cheaper. So yes, your cost of living in Kamloops is definitely going to be a lot more affordable than your cost of living in Vancouver City. So that is something to keep in mind, and you can do your calculations. And all my viewers today, I suggest one of the first thing you should do is connect with the TRU Bangladesh Club on Facebook, because they will be able to help you with a lot of your questions as a student from Bangladesh. They'll be able to give you a lot of perspective and help you with that. So one of the things I always look at is how Bangladeshi students are helping each other out in the community, and they will have accommodation options for other students. So there's lots of ways to save around that. When it comes to making money, you do have access to part-time jobs, and then you have access to co-op, which is paid internships in all your bachelor's degree programs. We do not have a co-op in our post-bac diplomas or in our master's programs at this time. I'm talking about scholarships. So when it comes to scholarships, unfortunately we have very limited number of scholarships because, as I mentioned, we are already quite affordable. So I think when you compare us at the end of the day, you will see it's pretty much very comparable. However, we do have some, academic excellence scholarships. So if you have solid grades and solid IELTS scores, then you may be qualified for an entrance scholarship of up to 4,000 Canadian dollars. And for that, you must contact prominent consultants, and then we would look at your transcripts, your English scores, and then we would be able to tell you if you qualify or not.
Okay, so the scholarship is an entrance scholarship, right? So it depends on the percentage they manage.
Yeah, depends on the GPA and the IELTS, and then there is a scholarship application to fill out where we require the student to submit an essay, and that is something that I would help you one-on-one. Again, because we need to make sure that first of all, I would do the pre-screening. If you are eligible, we will invite you to apply for the scholarship, and then we have a scholarship committee that will make the final decision.
So scholarship is only for undergrad, or in postgrad also you do offer?
At this time, we have scholarship for undergraduate programs only. We don't have scholarship for post-bac or master's programs.
Okay. So, Suraj, I have a specific question for MBA. Actually, what is the exact fees for MBA for 2 years?
So for MBA, our first year, MBA is a 2-year program. The first year, foundation year called GDBA. That part is 14,000 Canadian dollars. So 1,400. And that is just 6 courses. That's why it is $14,000. The second year is the 3-semester back-to-back non-stop MBA, and that is $35,000 because that is your dual MBA. So in total, it's $35,000 plus $14,000, which basically comes to roughly about $45,000. $45,000 to $48,000 is your total cost for the MBA program.
Okay. But students are confused. In the website, I think sometimes they are finding that the MBA cost is only 34 to 35. So
because that's why I mentioned there are two parts to this program: GDBA and MBA. MBA itself is 35,000. If you are qualified to go directly into the MBA, then all you would spend is 35,000. For the GDBA, let's say a student comes from a Bachelor of Business background, you might not need the full 6 courses. You might only need 3 courses or 4 courses. In that case, your cost could go down to even $8,000 or $9,000. So it really depends on what you've studied before. The GDP, the foundation really depends on your previous academic background and if it matches TRU's curriculum with the GDP.
Okay, but one thing I need to know that for your MBA you are asking IELTS 7, right?
Yes, with no bands below 6.5.
Below 6.5. But if someone is having 6.5, they can start with GDPA. I mean, they can. I mean, it is like that, or?
Unfortunately, not. So then, in that, if somebody does not meet the IELTS requirements for MBA, they're not. There's just no way. We don't have ESL as an option. But what the student could do is go into our post-baccalaureate diploma in business administration, and then work with their advisor in how they can be eligible to go into the MBA as in the second year. So what they have to do is make sure that their GPA is at a certain level and make sure they get a certain grade in the English courses.
Okay, and mostly the students from different background, like from engineering, from science, they may need that GDPA mostly, right? That is the concern.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so you know that now I need to know about the things like about the application process and what are the intakes do you offer, and what are the basic deadlines to apply for those intakes. Could you please say something about this matter?
Absolutely. So I think right now, given the situation with COVID-19, we are going to just talk about fall 2020. In general, we have fall intake, we have winter intake, and we have summer intake. So what that means is September, January, and May intake. Each semester is 4 months. To apply for a particular semester, sometimes you must apply even 8 months in advance. It really depends on which program you're applying for. If it is an open program, even if you apply 5 months in advance, you might get in. But when it comes to certain programs, you have to watch for the application deadlines. What I would suggest is for fall, right now our applications are still open because of the pandemic situation. We have kept them open, which is very unusual. Because usually we have very clear application deadlines, which is May 1st for September intake and so on and so forth. So in either case, we have one deadline is the application deadline. The second deadline we have is the visa confirmation and transcripts and English deadline, which is usually 1 month prior to the semester. So for September intake, it's August 1st. For January intake, it is December 1st. What that means is by that date, you should already have your visa. You should already have your transcript submitted to TRU in original. So that is something that we will work with you. Again, because of coronavirus, we have created a lot of flexibility for our students not to worry about any of these things. And if you can get it, that's great. We need it. But if you cannot get it for any reason, we will work with you in how to get it implemented.
Okay. And what about the application process of TRU?
So for the application process, the student must work with you, with prominent consultants. We do require an application fee, which is non-refundable and non-waivable. It is a mandatory application fee of $100 Canadian. And you submit your application for all undergraduate level programs, or rather all non-master's programs. The application processing time can be about 7 to 10 business days, versus for master's level programs, it can be 2 to 3 or maximum up to 4 weeks. Please keep in mind that only complete applications are going to be processed. So when you submit an incomplete application, that is not going to be processed. And of course, for that, we trust prominent consultants to do their bit. But you must provide all the documents. Again, because of COVID-19, we do have a little bit of a delay in application processing times, but we are catching up fairly quickly, and we've been able to provide the offer letters and the work acceptance. Once the student gets the offer letter, you will have a deadline on your offer letter to make the tuition fee payment, which will be usually, currently it will be June 15 for all students coming for September. But otherwise, it's usually 1 month from the date of offer letter. And once we get the tuition fee payment, we issue the letter of acceptance, and then you can apply for the visa. So just keep that in mind for fall 2020. You guys need to plan well in advance to keep in mind for the visa processing times, and then get everything else done before.
Okay.
And sorry,
so
just to add one more thing, the offer letter will require you to pay 1 semester tuition fee. That is our minimum required deposit when you apply to TRU. So that will be roughly about 9,000 Canadian dollars. That is your first commitment to Thompson Rivers University, 9 to 10,000.
Exactly. And one more thing we need to know that how long it takes to get the offer, like for bachelor and for masters. Normally, I mean, usually how long it takes.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, for bachelor's degree, it can take 7 to 10 business days, and for master's level program, so for master's level programs, it can take 3 to 4 weeks. All other programs, it can take 7 to 10 business days. Yeah.
10 working days. Yes. So Suraj, we are just 15 minutes away to finish our live session. So
Okay.
we'll have a testimonial video of MBA, TRU MBA. Shall we have this video, because you know that both of us tired because we are talking a lot. So let's give some break.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Yes. So let's see the video.
I feel like to still be competitive in this world, I need to pursue ongoing education, and the MBA kind of was the next step for my undergraduate.
Well, I was currently working as an HR consultant, and I really wanted to up my game in the career world.
I hardly knew anything about TRU when I flew into the airport. I kind of got off the plane with my suitcase, and I said, all right, well, let's go have a look at the university.
TRU's MBA has an international perspective.
Coming from a smaller town, when I came here, it forced me to think more global.
You end up bonding really well with the people that you're in the program with.
It's very practical, and like what we learn in class, we can use that in the work.
And they'll have their scripted lectures or whatever, but they're like, you know what, this just happened in the news today, so let's talk about this.
Discussing what's happening in business today.
I get to know the people here, and get to know the culture here.
With the faculty and the students here too, it just really opened me up everywhere.
All of a sudden, you're 6 months into the program, and you realize you got a group of new friends. You spend so much time together just because you're working together all the time on these different projects.
So I just feel like this is like a big family here.
They actually cater to the students.
You can choose a project base, so you don't have to do courses and courses and courses. You get to pick a project and really work with a company or add to the world of academia in the project or thesis base, and you get a supervisor that there's to help you step by step.
Which actually helps motivate us to become something better. You can do part-time, full-time, and you can even do online studies.
It doesn't matter if you're a full-time parent, if you're full-time working, or if you're in a totally different province.
Infrastructure is here to allow you to grow both academically and personally.
You'll be able to gain the leadership skills that you need in order to go to the next level.
Suraj,
Yes.
so you know that it is said that Canada is a country of opportunities, country of living, country of settle down over there. So, and you know that in this lockdown situation also, the international students are enjoying a lot of things by the government. Uh, so, so what are the opportunities in Canada? I mean, after study, and what they can do after study?
Okay, so I know it is a dream for many students to come to Canada and find success. And whenever I talk to students, I know that every student has their own story and own success story. I myself came to Canada as an international student, and over the past 5 years of working at TRU, I've seen so many students come and succeed in their pursuits. I think one of the things is Canada is a land where you can find your place and make things for your own. Everything depends on you. It depends on what you want to do with your life, how independent you are, how you can use your time wisely and maximize this opportunity. At the end of the day, it all depends on you. We do have at TRU, we do have something called as experiential learning, and I think this, no matter which school you end up choosing or where you go in Canada, this is something you will get no matter where you go. But I'm very proud of what we have at TRU. Viewers, for your knowledge, I am a TRU alumni myself. I went to TRU as a student, and I think I've experienced that firsthand, which is why I can share that with so much confidence. We had lots of different departments that you can take full advantage of. We have supports, we have private tutoring on campus. When you want to explore the career side of things, we have a career education department. We have a public speaking department. We have lots of different facilities and services on campus that will help you get closer to finding success in the area of your choice. But as I mentioned, at the end of the day, we're all here to help you and support you. But if you don't come to us, then how will you find help? So when you come to Canada, rule number one is to be independent, be passionate, go out there, talk to these departments, talk to people, find your path, find your purpose, and get confidence. Talk to people. The more you talk to people, the more you get to know about everybody else's stories. The more you try to seek guidance from people that are there to give you guidance, I think you will find a lot of success. In terms of job opportunities, the landscape has changed significantly over the past few years, and currently is evolving and changing as we speak because of coronavirus. Like, for example, a booming industry right now is supply chain, logistics, transportation, healthcare, hospitals, right? As soon as this is going to end, our hospitality, tourism industry is going to be back up again. Business is busier than ever. We have marketing, communications, which are very important, very critical pieces right now. Certain areas like engineering, teaching, those will never be affected in terms of the labor market needs. Culinary, as I mentioned. So there are programs which are almost 100% employment rate or more, like full 100%. So depending on what you choose, there are lots of different options. But as I mentioned, I think no matter which program you choose, the main thing is to maximize your student experience on campus. And that's why we offer a campus community instead of one building in a city. So when you come to a campus community, you will experience a lot of different things which will contribute to your wholesome growth. And that is what will make you employable. And that is something that we have a track record of. We've seen lots of our students graduate from that experience, because that is what is the main thing. That's the main piece. So that is something that we really support our students with. Again, Canada is a very immigration-friendly country. There's only so much that I'm allowed to talk about immigration, but I can just share my own experience again, and my students and my friends. We've all come to Canada as students. We've all graduated. We've all managed to get our PRs and working towards our citizenship. So one of the things is that Canada does have that opportunity for you to stay back if you choose to. When you study 2 years or more, you are eligible for a 3-year postgraduate work permit. During that work permit, you can find a job that belongs to a particular job code, and then you can apply for a PR. But there's, again, lots of opportunities around all of that. And one of the things I also suggest all students is don't focus on your PR. Focus on your career, focus on making your life. PR will come, PR will follow you. Canada needs people, Canada will come to you. You need to focus on your life, you need to focus on making your career and finding success in your journey in Canada. That is the most important thing.
Wow. It's really nice. It was really nice. And I would like to add something that students, they are all the time, they are worried about the part-time jobs, about the career, what they will do, how they will do, they will get PR or not. There's a lot of confusion in their mind. So I would like to say that, study abroad is something that where you need to make the connection with the people. You need to expand your network. You need to know how to speak with people. You need to build up your skill, and definitely you need to build up yourself. That's all.
Right.
The job will automatically come to you. The career, you don't even think of that. Okay, so people will pick you. When people know that you are Mr. Mr. X, Y, and Z. So people will recognize you for your job, and definitely Canada is such a platform, such a country where you won't feel, that they're friendly, so welcoming, immigration friendly.
Yes.
The government is also very flexible in that matter, and of course, they want skilled people. They don't want someone who will be illegal and they will work illegally. They don't want that. They want someone who will study, finish their job, and they will get the PR. So this is the thing. So I would like to recommend all students, just do your investment in a proper institution, in a proper way, and just make the best use of it. The future is yours. Otherwise, if you don't do that, so there is nothing in your future. So thanks, Suraj, for joining today's live session. And I know you are a very busy man. Very busy person all the time, because you are the manager of international recruitment, so you must be busy. And so do you, any last word, though you have said so many things, any last word that you would like to share to our Bangladeshi students and the viewers?
Absolutely. I think I would like to conclude with leaving a thought for you. I think I'd like to say that, this is a very rare time that we have been put in by nature. Experience this. This time is not going to come back. Take this time to reflect. Take this time to plan. If you are planning to come study abroad, honestly, you need this time to plan your journey. You need this time to plan what you're going to do when you come to Canada. So use this time productively and do lots of research. I do want you to follow TRU on social media as well. So we are TRU World on Instagram, TRU World on Facebook. Follow us and see what we're doing, see what we're up to. I think that will give you a really good insight into our campus life. But yeah, use this time productively and in general, when you are making your choice of coming to Canada, we really trust prominent consultants as our authorized agent in Bangladesh. So work with them and let's stay in touch. I look forward to see you all in Kamloops and at TRU.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Suraj. And of course, we'll be just ending up the live right now. But before ending, so we'll just a final video it's just 2 minutes video. So with that video, we'll just shut down the live session. And before that, I'd like to say goodbye, good night, and stay safe, stay in home. And let's hope for the best. Let's that we should recover the coronavirus. We will recover the coronavirus very soon. So let's hope for the best. So let's have the final video, and with this video, we'll end up the live session. So let's be here. I'll connect you again. Just be here.
Okay.
So what can you study here?
With 140 on-campus programs and about 60 open learning programs, you can choose how you want to learn and what works best for you.
From certificates and apprenticeships to bachelor's and master's degrees.
Now, the amazing thing about TRU is that it offers flexible learning options to suit your lifestyle. You can study on campus with in-person instruction, and TRU's intimate learning environment and hands-on approach allows for easily made connections.
But the greatest thing about class, your awesome faculty.
TRU attracts fantastic instructors from around the globe. Not only are they experts in their field, but they take the time to guide and mentor you to succeed.
In our small classes, your instructor gets to know your name.
And their doors are always open if you need help.
Or you can study online at your own pace through open learning.
Manage your busy school, work, and social commitments.
And get ahead in your studies while you work.
If you have a part-time job, travel frequently with the sports team, or are completing a co-op work term, your studies can go where you go. Find additional academic support in places like the Writing Center, the Economics Health Center, and the Math Health Center.
Take advantage of free tutoring to help achieve the stellar grades you're looking for.
Our 2 libraries are yours to discover, with books, articles, videos, and other resources for your classes. We also have plenty of study spaces on campus, whether it's for a group study session or for yourself between classes. Looking for something bright and airy, fresh and breezy, or straight up cubicle style?
Or looking for an all-night study space, TRU got you covered.